here, 2v2 Desert Showdown blue team. SaintLynx plays a force commander, offensive melee, quite versatile, can tank, disrupt and even support. This is Dark Angels DLC. Alongside we have Nick Dean playing an Eldar Warlock, good mobility with fleet, offensive melee, can tank and disrupt really well. Red team, Technocrat plays a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, fights melee, has a bunch of spells, makes him really dangerous. And rastvor6 plays a big stompy Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through cover, cannot be suppressed, fights melee to start off, good offense and support. Termagants harassing Guardians and forcing them off the east side, and they're going to take blue's natural. Bit of a strange map, as you can see the natural VP is very close to their respective bases on the west and east, and we have this kind of off-center contested VP. Howling Banshees on the field for Nick Dean. SaintLynx going for Loyalist Tactical Marines. They're going to take this western VP. They cap points 50% faster than any other unit in the game, makes up for their lack of mobility. Warlock being very brave, deep in enemy territory there, but is forced off. Combination of Chaos and Nids. rastvor with double Termagants, the most popular opening for Tyranids. Might be a bit odd if you're used to tabletop, seeing Tyranids played as mainly a ranged faction. Howling Banshees don't want to engage Hormagaunts and the Hive Tyrant there, and we're getting a power harass already. 500, 456, early VP lead for blue team. Shuriken Cannon on the way for Nick Dean. Double Chaos Space Marines on the field for Technocrat. And we already have the Iron Halo up for the Force Commander, gives him that energy draining shield, really adds to his survivability. Doombolt's almost taking off a Tactical Marine model there. Now he's in a fight with a bunch of heretics who retreats. Special attack from the Chaos Sorcerer misses. Force Commander harassing a lot of stuff here. Has his work cut out now, fighting both of the commanders. Shield goes down. Doombolts again on the Marines, a really nicely hit one. Almost took a model there. And finally they make the Force Commander retreat. That's how much of a nuisance he can be in the first few minutes of the game, just by getting him the Iron Halo. West side is red, center is red, east side is blue, and Eldar are harassing these Tyranid generators, of which there are 3 up. Howling Banshees in amongst the Termagants, and they use War Shout. They have their aspect, which really helps out Banshees in tier 1, boosting their health also. Now they can bash these gens down. Hive Tyrant also working on gens, slowly taking them down with those default claws, and down it goes. 462, 444. We have some Tzeentch worship and a Havoc set up right in the face of the Force Commander. He was in a sync kill though, so was not taken down, and now retreats. Double CSM and Eternal War on both squads already. You can tell by the plus icon, also that Chaos insignia around their weapons. Have some Tzeentch worship again. Havoc is gonna set up sneakily. Eventually, there we go. Will suppress and control his Tactical Marines. The CSM lost a model though, and here comes some Assault Marines from SaintLynx. They are gonna jump the Havoc. Yes. Wow, Force Commander almost taken out by the Havoc there, getting too close. And he retreats. Assault Marines force off the rest of them. Wow, I thought Technocrat was going to turn and engage, try and get a model off those Assault Marines. Warrior Brood on the field for rastvor. Start off as a melee unit, but they have been given the really nice Barb Strangler AoE suppression weapon. Does some pretty nice damage too. They are heavy infantry and emit a synapse, so you need to look after them. Synapse explosions are bad news. Warlock harassing red team's economy. He decapped this wreck point. 2-1 for blue. 4-5-2, 4-30. Howling Banshees now going after the Hive Tyrant, are they? No. And they are crippled by the Termagants. Down goes a Warrior Brood. Remember, there's a Shuriken Cannon in this central building. Howling Banshees going after the Warrior Brood, but they are really low on health and might not get away here. Just about do. The Shuriken Cannon suppressing those Hormagaunts. Here come Assault Marines jumping in. Warrior Brood might lose another model, but do not. Those Barb Strangle Warriors really need to watch out for those Assault Marines now. Ouch. Plasma Grenade wiping those Hormagaunts, I believe. Yes. Good grief. That's how dangerous a well-placed grenade can be in Tier 1. Do both the yes, we see Toxin Sacks on both the Termagants. Huge upgrade for these guys. Hive Tyrant now trying to cap the east side under fire. Howling Banshees. Strange pathing by this model. And the War Shout came off of her, so they didn't suppress those Termagants. Unlucky for Nick Dean. Can they take out the Hive Tyrant though in retreat? No, Crippling Poison saves him, and Banshees forced off again. Lost one model. The Banshees will always bleed you in Tier 1. It's about really putting pressure on with them and try and get model losses yourself. Shuriken Cannon in that building. Don't see any garrison counters apart from the Barb Strangler, which is actually a really nice garrison counter if you can get it close enough. It doesn't have the longest range. We have triple gens here for blue and a webway gate going up from Nick Dean, and triple gens here from red. This Chaos one for some reason very far away from the node. Two gens here for blue and triple here for red. Blue team going Tier 2. Technocrat using this Havoc to harass this power and might be able to completely take it out. Looks like the Force Commander was taken down. Here comes the Warlock. We'll be able to flank that Havoc, but we have Aspiring Champion Heretics making him into a pretty dangerous melee unit. Havoc is forced off. Really nice special attack on the Heretics. Ordinarily they wouldn't be special attacked, but the Heretics were moving at that point. A moving unit loses melee skill, which is why moving units are special attacked so often. Howling Banshees in amongst Tyranids here. They have the X up and she has her spear because they have their aspects, and uses them to force off that entire Tyranid melee blob. You might want to get channeling runes to support those Howling Banshees. At the moment we have absolutely no war gear for the Warlock Force Commander, still with that Iron Halo. Chaos Sorcerer is getting his Rod of Warpfire. Really like this weapon. And Rastvor's Hive Tyrant still in default war gear at level 2. 429, 397, a 2-1 for blue. Trying to defend this power is red team, and they managed to do it. Node has gone down, but that's it. Guardians get their shield run over by the Hive Tyrant and forced to retreat. Warlock again being very annoying from Nick Dean and decapping these wreck points. Really nice Warlock play, using his mobility to maximum effect. We have a Librarian on the field for SaintLynx. Sub-Commander for Space Marines has some really nice support abilities, but also good in melee combat with that power sword, and has a nasty smite in the fluff. As someone pointed out in a previous video, they use 4 swords, but when I refer to a power sword I mean in game mechanics. It is a power weapon. There is no such thing as force damage in the game. Chaos Sorcerer decapping west side now. He has that Rod of Warpfire up, and red team lose both of these wreck points. They're going to want to recap those things. Good map control for blue, and they are pushing power here. Zone throw on the field for Rastvor, getting in shots. Banshees retreat with no losses though. Artillery unit for Tyranids, doesn't need to set up and doesn't do friendly fire, really adding to the Tyranids' danger from range. 429, 316. We have Markov Khorne Chaos Space Marines thrown onto their asses by the Warp Throat. We have Witchblade of Kernus. This is going to be a really dangerous Warlock in combat. As you can see, gives him a pretty nice power melee weapon and the ridiculous ethereal slash can give entire squads. He is forced off there though, and red team are recapping these wreck points thanks to Termagants. Assault Marines have their sergeant, gives them a power sword, makes them a lot more effective in melee combat versus other melee squads. Merciless Strike really helps them out in that respect. Force Commander has his mighty power fist, and we see a Wraith Lord on the field for Nick Dean. Really nice walker vehicle for Eldar. Already has the shoulder mounted shuriken cannon, which as you can see puts out some crazy piercing damage DPS. Piercing damage incidentally is just normal range damage pretty much. 429, 478. Blood Crusher on the field for Technocrat needs to keep it the hell away from the Force Commander with that power fist and this Wraith Lord as well. And another Havoc squad for Technocrat. Looks like he lost his first one. Here comes the Hive Tyrant with his crushing claw going after that Wraith Lord, which was stunned and damaged by the focus warp blast of the Zone Throat, but the Hive Tyrant loses all of his support and is forced off and almost taken out by the Wraith Lord, which itself lost a bunch of hit points. Here is the Blood Crusher now, a demon with vehicle armor, very quick as you can see, decent damage versus all targets, but does need worship support to get the most out of it, and Technocrat does have his heretic still. Mark of Khorne CSM in combat with Assault Marines. They will usually win that fight unless the Assault Marines get a jump and a Merciless Strike, and even then the Mark of Khorne Marines could still win. That was Chains of Tailment we saw, snaring that entire blob. Guardian is now repairing that Wraith Lord. They have their battle equipment and Warlock leader. It's a 2-to-1 for blue. They could get a triple if the Force Commander goes to cap. Looks like he is. Heretics are harassing their power, take down the node, but should be forced off now, and we have a plasma gun for the Tactical Marines. Helps them out versus heavy infantry such as the Chaos Space Marines. I'm not sure who wins in a straight stand-up fight between Mark of Tzeentch CSM and Plasma Gun Sergeant Tactical Marines. I think they win if they use Kraken Bolts. 429, 222. Maybe someone out there knows for certain. Wraith Lord forced off by the Hive Tyrant. He might try and chase that thing down. Has his warp field, and here comes the Blood Crusher to help out, and down goes the Wraith Lord. Big loss for Nick Dean, and he's looking very thin now. Only has Guardians, lost his Howling Banshees as well, not sure where. Did not spot that at all. I think it was there, was it? I see a load of red numbers. Whoa, Assault Marines almost wiped by that double Zone Throat strike. Did get a very nice Merciless Strike as well. Blood Crusher could try and finish them off. You see Distort Field put on those Assault Marines, which might have saved them there. Global ability of the Warlock, nice play from Nick Dean helping out his teammate there. Force Commander with his Power Fist and Iron Halo at level 2 is kicking some ass. We had a Dreadnought now on the field for SaintLynx, white in colour because that's how Dark Angels roll. Going up against the Hive Tyrant, this is risky with all that Zone Throat support and a Blood Crusher coming in. Hive Tyrant is forced to retreat. Dreadnought still has some work to do. Looks like the Zone Throat's forced to retreat, yes. Dreadnought backs off. Did help force off the red, but they're still here. Chaos Sorcerer hanging around, and it's going to be a 1-to-1 cap. Blue team taking the east side back. 372, 222. Here come Mark of Khorne CSM for Technocrat. He doesn't have an aspiring champion for these guys yet, and the other CSM squad is getting aspiring champion, but they don't have a mark. In fact, they're both getting aspiring champions. I think you should get one of each marks. Warlock again being annoying and harassing stuff. Really nice Warlock play from Nick Dean. Level 4 this guy. Force Commander's level 2 and running away. Chaos Sorcerer is still level 1. And the Hive Tyrant is level 3 with that crushing claw. Tier 3 then for Nick Dean and rastvor. SaintLynx also going. Doesn't quite have the zeal to get Terminators yet.
Understood.
Technocrat staying Tier 2 and getting a Chaos Dreadnought. 361 222. Warlock chucking these Tyranids on their ass, going straight after this Warrior Brood, trying to get a Modelos. There's a Ethereal Slash. Can't quite get one. As you see, the Witchblade of Kurnus giving him the grenade icon, so you can always tell when he has it. Red team take the central and they have the west, so they have a 2-1. 346 222. rastvor in Tier 3 and has tons of red. Could drop a Tyranids formation right now. Have some Tzeentch worship here, infiltrating all this stuff. Still don't have a mark for the second CSM squad. Looks like he's spotted this webway gate finally. Here comes some more Howling Banshees for Nick Dean. Fully upgraded already, but they are level 1, so need to be very careful, especially since there's a Havoc in that building. Here comes the Dreadnought. SaintLynx sending it in without repairing it. This is a huge risk. Has been snared and damaged by the Zoanthropes, and here comes the Hive Tyrant to finish it off with those Crushing Claw. Bang, down it goes. Huge mistake from SaintLynx not to repair that thing. He does have a scout squad, so I'm not sure why he didn't. They are back at base. Force Commander uses Battle Cry, making him do special attacks with each hit for 10 seconds. Going after this Blood Crusher, but is forced to retreat. Don't think he has the energy to use Flesh over Steel, and almost finished off by the Hive Tyrant there. Good engagement for red. Zoanthropes both escape. Autuck was dropped by Nick Dean. Sub-Commander for Eldar, very mobile on her feet, jumps over cover. Also emits a passive AoE buff to surrounding infantry. Really good disruption and some nice damage too. Avatar of Cain on the way for Nick Dean. 316 222. East side has been decapped. Howling Banshees catching up to Termagants, but they should turn around and cap, I think. Maybe hit that generator. Can't believe SaintLynx lost that Dreadnought so easily. Librarian now has his Force Staff. Force Barrier can be really nasty if you use it right. It's very situational though. We have a Mark of Khorne Chaos Dreadnought for Technocrat. Really nice synergy with the Chaos Sorcerer, since he can teleport it out of trouble using his global, and it looks like he's sending it right into base here, knowing that he can teleport it out with his global mass warp or whatever it's called. Those Banshees and Guardians are in that building. Out they get to take on the Blood Crusher, and here come Assault Marines to help, and there's a Tyranids formation on base by a rastvor. Takes out the webway gate immediately with the Central Spire. The Central Spire will one-shot any structure apart from a base. Hive Tyrant coming in, immune to suppression of course, so he can just walk in there. But here is the Avatar of Cain for Nick Dean. Librarian taken out by the Mark of Khorne Dreadnought, which is in Blood Rage mode, which basically makes it really freaking angry. Going up against these Banshees. Blood Rage is now worn off. Here comes CSM to help out. Huge pressure on this base. Force Commander is there, weighing in with his Power Fist. Is he going to teleport this thing out or what? Needs to do it right now. And he does, just in time. The Chaos Dreadnought getting out with 18 hit points. He is teleported right next to the Avatar though. And really nice play from Technocrat, using Tzeentch worship to infiltrate that Dreadnought so it could escape. The global, by the way, teleports everything to the Chaos Sorcerer's location, which is why the Mark of Khorne Dreadnought was there. Look at this, we have a Swarm Lord on the field for rastvor. Super unit for Tyranids. Very dangerous in melee combat, uses vehicle armor. Is a monstrous creature though, so will regenerate health. Also emits a speed buff and reinforcement synapse. Really useful super unit, I think. Going after the Avatar here. Backs off and should get back to base to regenerate just fine. Red team, a lot of pressure on this east side. Nick Dean will have his work really cut out versus double zones, that Hive Tyrant, and now this Swarm Lord. Here comes the Avatar to help out. A Risk down to half hit points. Has 5,600 of them though. 220, 217, it's very close. 2-to-1 cap for red. Can they see this out? SaintLynx has a Predator on the field. Grenade misses from those Guardians, and they need to retreat. Warlock being very brave, going after Zone Thropes with a Swarm Lord and a Hive Tyrant chasing him, and is forced to retreat. Blue team will take the west side though and get a 2-to-1 maybe. He could use Warp Fire to knock them off the cap, or not. Here is the Predator from SaintLynx, and Technocrat doesn't have a vehicle counter. Looks like he lost his first Dreadnought, did not see how. Most likely the Force Commander, I'm guessing, and he's getting another Chaos Dreadnought. Might give it Mark of Tzeentch to deal with this Predator, and Chaos Sorcerer runs away. And blue team do take the west side. Assault Marines now level 3, Tactical Marines very nearly level 3. Avatar now almost fully healed up. Howling Banshees fleeing. There's a Wailing Doom. Hit the Hive Tyrant, it did a decent chunk of damage there. He just leveled to 5 though, and now has the extended carapace, giving him a bit more mobility and some really nice disruption. 204, 179, it's a double for blue. Might be a triple, look at this. Warlock trying to cap but can't. And now blue have a single back to the east side. This Avatar still a big nuisance for rastvor to deal with. Looks like he's going to pressure it now, but he can just stroll back to base since base is so close. The webway gate up here from Nick Dean. For some reason red team are not capping mid. Chaos Sorcerer instead is infiltrated. Now he caps mid. We have Twin Link Las Cannon on this Predator, and we do have a Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Dreadnought. Really nice anti-vehicle Dreadnought now with those missile launchers. Predator's going to need to be careful. Gets a Las Cannon shot down. Look at the damage those Twin Link Las Cannon do to the Dreadnought. That was just 2 shots. Are we going to see a Melter Bomb as well? There it is. Chaos Dreadnought is now infiltrated though, hiding it. 204, 161, Chains of Torment, snaring all of this stuff. Really nicely done, has snared the Force Commander and the Warlock, and you see how long it lasts. Now they are free though. Force Commander goes straight after the Dreadnought, and this Dreadnought is done for. Force Commander didn't even need to take a shot, the Predator took care of it. Carnifex now on the field for rastvor. Wonder what upgrade he's going to give it. Might want to give it the Venom Cannon to help versus the Avatar, and he's given it Thorn back, so he's going to have 3 very big and dangerous melee creatures running around. Wailing Doom on the Termagant hits 1 model and it survives. This is a level 2 Termagant Brood, almost level 3. His double Zone Thrope still around, really nicely managed by rastvor, you have to say, with very quick Eldar around, always a threat to them. And they are both one level 2, one level 3. Huge pressure for Nick Dean to deal with, but he's managed to cap that VP, unbelievable. rastvor trying to focus down the Avatar once and for all. It's a super unit of course, so cannot level. Neither can this Swarm Lord, but this Carnifex can. And when a Carnifex is level 4, it is pretty nuts. 204, 109. We do have Mark of Tzeentch eventually for these Chaos Space Marines. Give them Inferno Bolts, very good damage versus all infantry. There is Leech Essence by the Swarm Lord, literally leeching life from all of that infantry there. And Nick Dean is forced off, but rastvor has nothing here to cap with. And it's a single for blue still, now a double. They have the west and the centre. Technocrat struggling against this Predator, but here comes the Hive Tyrant to help out with those crushing claws. Gonna get a rear armor hit, boom. Is he gonna try and chase it down? He can't charge after it because he's got no energy left. Markov Corner CSM chasing, trying to get melter pistol hits, but they are forced off, as is the Hive Tyrant, and the Predator survives. Librarian still level 1. This is a second Librarian, of course, the first one taken out in base. And another Tyrannid formation, huge pressure from rastvor, absolutely gibbing Eldar models, Guardians wiped out. Web Brigade taken out as well. The Avatar is still around though, and finishes off that Warrior Brood, and blue have a single. rastvor needs to cap. Technocrat capping west side. It's going to be a 1-1. It will stop the VP counter, but they still have a lot of VPs to make up and not a lot of headroom to do it. I think rastvor should have perhaps doubled this area with Technocrat. 204-17. Blue will take the west side, but red are taking center. D cannon on the field for Nick Dean. We'll be able to almost have that thing in base, and the Avatar is still alive. Termagant's now trying to cap. rastvor needs some more capping units. Where's the Hive Tyrant? He is helping out in the center, and he's going to try and cap this VP, I think. Blue team stopped from capping west. Red can still do this. They need to stop this Warlock though. Swarmlord and Carnifex enough to force him off. Carnifex now level 2, as you can see, 2010 hit points already, and it has vehicle armor as well. Reds will get a double hit. The Avatar cannot cap. Here he is taunting the Carnifex and Swarmlord, and they accept his challenge, go after him. Warlock is going to try and use this to cap. rastvor needs to go after the Warlock, but he's not. He's going to let him cap. Nope, here comes the Swarmlord to try and stop him, is he? He's thinking about it. Unable to attack for some reason, and Nick Dean able to finish that cap. It's a 2-1 now. Not sure what happened there. Uh-oh, here come Assault Terminators from SaintLynx. These are Dark Angel Terminators, so they are Deathwing, which is why they are white. There's an Imperial Abyss from Technocrat trying to stop the cap. Look at the damage to the Terminators. They are taking it though, and then teleport out. Not sure where they teleported to. Just there, they didn't lose a model. The Tactical Marines though were wiped. Huge loss for SaintLynx, and that's what you call saving a global for the right moment. But here come the Terminators again to try and cap. Assault Marines now level 4, almost 1600 HP on a jump infantry. Blue team have the east still. I'm not sure how the hell Nick Dean has kept this victory point. He is wiping out Termagants, and down they go. Carnifex now will wail on him. 158-14. Blue team have a 2-1. Hive Tyrant goes down. Assault Terminators with their ridiculous 5,400 hit points charging around have lost almost half of it though. And blue team are going to take this. Unbelievable. Nick Dean under so much pressure on that east side, but they take it. Wow. Avatar really helped him. Was never taken out by rastvor, who just kept churning out huge creatures, but nothing that could help him with map control directly. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you next time.